let's discover how Excel works. As we saw, Excel has a completely different functions from Word because it's not anymore related to text production, but it's more related to the data production, data analysis, and the data set in general. So as you see, the first window that you have here is very similar to the other, and this is because of Microsoft is the same company who is developing these two different programs. But let's start from a new one. As you see, the first the appearance of Excel is completely different from the appearance of Word. You do not have a plain paper anymore. Here you have a tab, a table. So you can see that it's divided in columns and rows. Okay, so each cell that you see is named after the capital letter that indicate the column and the number that indicate the row. So for example, this cell here, you see, it's F7, name of the box, F7. Okay, how can you fill these boxes, the cell? You can put text, or you can put number. There are some similarities with Word, and you will find the same similarities in OpenOffice ambient environment. So you see here you can edit the font of what is written in the cell, both of the font type, number, making it bigger or smaller, bold, italic, underlined, the same. Here you can color directly the cell, or you can make them empty. Here you can put a limit, but you have the same also in Word, but of course in Word you will use those tools less than others, but same symbols at least. And again, here you have the alignment, but let's start from what is different. So for example, block text. That means that, let's make an example. If I write, let's write something. Hello everyone, everyone. You see, the length of what I wrote is, it is bigger than the length of the cell. So that means that you see that it goes in the other one, but it's not really goes in the other one, because you see here what you have in box G5 here. You have the content of the cell of the box. So hello everyone, that is written in box G7. G7. Sorry, G5. So you can decide to expand your box or wrap the text. So in this case, the length will be the same, the width of the cell will be the same, but the text will go down. Or you can merge the cell. In this case, you have created one cell from two that were separated. Okay, that's very important. As you see, there are really a lot of tools in this program, because this program can make you do whatever you want about your data. So I will show you just some simple, very simple feature that you can use, and then I will leave you the link for more instructions. What I did was simply copy and paste the number here, because what I want to show you, okay, it's if you want, you can select, of course, the 8th, just like the width. So for example, I want to do things with those numbers. Okay, but what can I do with number? I will show you what's some way to make things simpler. So for example, I want to create a series of number 1, 2, 3, and I want this series to continue. I have to highlight the 3 cell, taking this from down, and can you see the number changing? And this is an automatic way to create number series. Let's keep it. But now I want to make a sum of all this number. So I have to highlight all the numbers I'm interested. And if I go here, you see that you have automatically add quick calculation to your worksheet. So let's try with the sum. This is the symbol. Every time you see this symbol, that means sum. And if I click, you see automatically I have the total of all these numbers. And if I click on the cell, what you can read here is a formula. So that means that here, this symbol equal is the symbol that you have to write if you want to start to create a new formula. And then you have to put some words that are keywords that are useful, because it's like, let's say, it's the language of this program. So this program works with some words, keywords, that if you put after the equal symbol, you will create some formula. So in this case, I create sum and then brackets. So what I'm saying is that in the cell L3, I will have a formula, a function, okay, that is created with a sum from cell A3 to column box key 3. You see, if I click on this bar, this one where there is the content of your box, I will have the formula. And if I press start, I say to the box, yes, I do want this formula. Please calculate the sum of all the boxes, all the number in the boxes I highlighted. And here we are. And this is the total. I can do the same with a lot of other formulas. And I really invite you to discover this. If you go here, editing, sum, auto sum, you will have the main one. Okay, so the sum, the average, count number, the maximum, the minimum, and then more function here. You have a lot of function. You can make minus, multiplication, division, and you can make things even more complex. So please try on what do you need, because this tool is really useful. But what if I want to insert? Remember that we discovered in Word what is the meaning of those words that you have here. Those are the set of tools. So just like in Word, here you can insert some feature to your document. So we have pictures, we have the shapes that we saw already, you have the icons, smart art. But here, because we are in a program that works with data, here you have a lot of charts that you can use in order to create data visualization. What is written here? To create a chart, select the cells that contain the data you'd like to use. If you have names for the rows and columns and you'd like to use them as labels, include them in your selection. What does it mean? Okay, it means that if I highlight the list of number, then I can go to a chart. Let's start with the column or bar chart. Okay, I do want this, and here we are. This is a chart created with the numbers, so the data I put in my spreadsheet. I go here, you will have more indication on the formulas that you can use. As I said, there are so many, so please try to use all of them. Those are very useful to create data management. And again, you can have the review just like in Word. So you can, the most important here is that you can add comment, just like we saw in Word. And they works in the same way. Here you can have some tools in order to view your document better, and especially workbook views. So that means that if you are going to print your document, you can use those tools here to see and edit the final version of the document before printing it. Normal. You see this line that you see here, those lines indicates the termination of a normal page of your document. And if you want to change them, you have to go to page layout and set out the margins of your document. Here, you can use this button to see only the boxes where you have wrote something. Thing I want to show you is that you can freeze some part of your document, especially if you have big data set. I will show you with a practical example. Okay, no, that's very important. First, if you want to highlight the entire row or the entire, you have to go here in the grid. You see the arrow that becomes black. So if you click when the arrow is black, you will highlight the whole column. On the other hand, the whole row. So if I want to highlight both rows, I can simply do that from here. And with the right click in your mouse, you can you can edit directly on what you selected. So I want to delete the first 2 lines because I want to show you what does it mean freezing the first. Freezing the top row means that I can go down and down and down and down. I will always see the first line. And the same is true for the column. So that's very, very useful when you have big data sets. Unfreeze and everything return as before. final thing is that you can, here you have the first sheet, sheet 1. You can add more sheet as much as you need. And in this way, you can operate in different, on different data set, on different tables. And when you will be more advanced in level in using Excel, you will be able also to discover the word of Power Pivot. Power Pivot, unfortunately, you can have this tool only in Office Microsoft Excel, but there are tools that are open sources and you can find them on internet. I just want to introduce you to this concept. Power Pivot means that there are tools that are able to create a connection between the different data sheets that you have here. So that means that you can, if you have a data set in your sheet and you want to create a connection between the three and put those connections in sheet 4, you can do that. You can have, for example, KPIs measurement. KPIs are key performance indicators. So that means that you can ask questions to your tables. You create direct relationship among the tables. Just want to show you how it appears. Create direct connections. But all of these are for a more advanced level of using Excel. But I wanted just to let you know that these functions also exist.